Hey, True Believers, Teen here, and this is a segment of our 4-hour-long live stream. In this part, we are talking about the Vulture article that basically calls us a danger to society, the whole 9 yards. But what it ends up being is me and Weaponized Nerd Rage talking about the history of COMIXgate and the lonesome life of Melissa Morgue. It's a lot of fun, to say the least. So I hope you enjoy. Kick back, relax, and here we go. Okay, so this article came from Vulture. It's called "COMIXgate is a Nightmare, Tearing Comics Fandom Apart, So What Happens Next?" So here's my controversial statement that's going to piss people off. I don't think it's just COMIXgate, and I don't think it's just creators, but I do think the war between the creators and COMIXgate can drive new readers away. It's not just, oh, those Nazis over there, or those SJWs. There is right now, no matter who you want to blame, oh God, I hate using the word fucking toxic. I hate bandwagon words, but it's an uncomfortable, at the very least, atmosphere surrounding the comic book hobby now. I'm sure there are some people who are just removed from it, but it is very easy to type in comic books and find this particular war going on. So is it tearing apart? Yeah, but don't blame COMIXgate, because they're going to see comic creators calling somebody who disagrees a fucking Nazi really, really easily. So I think that right away, the title of this article only gets it half right, because flat out, it's just an atmosphere. It's just it cannot really be inviting to a lot of new readers.
I don't know. I think that, for one thing, the younger generation is very, very firmly in the anti-SJW sort of wheelhouse.
Generation Z is making up for Generation X's mistake, or whatever they are, the millennials' mistakes.
And for another thing, I think at best what we have here is something akin to the speculator boom in the 90s, or the whole Frederick Wortham era of the CDA. I think this is just another one of those trials and tribulations that comic fans go through. And, you know, we picked up people during both of those eras, so why on earth wouldn't we pick people up during this one?
Oh, yeah, and I'll tell you something. I was on Nurgle's live stream, as I said earlier, and it was brought up that it really does seem that the creators are amping up the whole COMIXgate thing and attacking us full force. And I said, bring it on. Thank you very much for the extra subs. Yeah, thank you very much for the extra followers on Twitter. Thank you very much, because that's all that's going to happen. We're going to be fighting them. Vulture article goes on to say, if you follow comic professionals on Twitter, Sunday was a surreal day. All of a sudden, it seemed like everyone was posting the exact same tweet. First came Injustice writer Tom Taylor, doing the whole, I believe comics are for everyone. There's no excuse for harassment. There's no place for homophobia, transphobia, racism, or misogyny in comic criticism. And then everybody else tweeted it. And then COMIXgate tweeted it. At the end, we said, I am COMIXgate. Why? Because this is what we believe too, dumbasses. Nobody's fucking against you.
Gained a weaponized nerd rage in the scuffle there.
Yes, this is exactly what we believe. Also, it pissed them off.
Yeah, but nobody's against this message. No one is. You're getting it wrong again, you douchebags. And also, I will bet that Vulture will not, they have nobody from our side that they actually talk to. This is a friend of a friend told me somebody who did this once and what they said. This is not coming from anybody from our side, and I said that with quotation marks.
It's a bunch of Chinese whisper rumor mill bullshit of, oh, did you hear what this person said? 5 whispers later, it gets turned into fucking mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together.
Right. So it says, etc., etc. What the hell was happening? The answer involved one proper noun, often masked with asterisks or euphemisms to elide searchability. COMIXgate. As one might suggest from the name, COMIXgate is roughly speaking Gamergate for comics. You know what? We didn't name ourselves that. Fuck you guys. Like that infamous mass movement of angry gamers, which has been convincingly argued was the key component in the stunning rise of the alt-right. Fuck off. None of us here are alt-right. And okay, maybe we do have. I mean,
and
we are
also,
huge
and also,
now.
I was a gamer-gator as well, and fuck off, because I don't understand why we should be cagey about being, you know, basically an offshoot of Gamergate. That, to me, is a very good pedigree for us to have, considering Gamergate mostly won.
Debatable. Depending on who you ask that question to, you can get two very good answers, and they can back them up. That's the thing. A lot of people who are against the COMIXgate taking Gamergate association, the argument mainly is, why would you want the exact same baggage and negative press associated with them automatically being tacked on to you? You start with a disadvantage, but
because you're
you
probably
also
going to
then
get that
start
anyway,
with,
and you might as well use some of the leverage.
Yes, but on the other hand, you get you get similar access to all the news sources and such that were friendly to Gamergate automatically in your pocket. So while you've already lost the people who were not going to care about your opinion anyway, and while you do have the normies who have a negative opinion already having a negative opinion of you, you do gain some support automatically. But so it's its own toss up.
And I also think it's more honest, because there really isn't that much of a difference between Gamergate and COMIXgate, in my opinion, as someone who has been involved with both of them. Because in my opinion, it's symptoms of a larger geek culture gate at large, because they want geek culture, they want it bad, but because Gamergate or because geek culture is founded on things like expertise and meritocracy and passion and the belief that art has value for its own sake, it's completely incompatible with SJWs, no matter how much they want to subsume geek culture under the victim credentials list there. Because that's what they want to do. They want to turn geekdom into a victim hood in the same way as they did with every other type of victimhood.
The next part of the article is possibly the closest they come to telling the truth. COMIXgate is a loose confederation of tweeters and YouTubers who make it their business to yell, well, sometimes, about how much they hate the social justice warriors who, in their eyes, are ruining their favorite medium with leftist politics. Yeah, I think that right there, that is possibly the most honest this has come up.
It's not just leftist politics, though. I would
No,
be against
no.
this if it was Richard Spencer.
I didn't say it was 100%. I said it's the most.
I'm just saying, because like they do that thing where like we're automatically on the left, and anyone who disagrees with us is automatically on the right thing.
On the right,
No,
it does allude to that. Unlike Gamergate, the participants in COMIXgate didn't choose their name. It was lobbed at them by their opponents. Nevertheless, the shoe fits. And many of the angry readers within the movement have embraced it, mainly because it's the message, not the name. I love this part, though, where they say other reporters have chronicled the origins, and it mentions some people, including Melissa Morgue at Capeless Crusader.
Absolute lack of fucking research.
What? I mean, if you want to derail all credibility,
this article.
Yeah, you just derailed all credibility by citing Melissa Morgue as a source here. Oh man, that is
it's like trying to learn about Gamergate by talking to Brianna Wu.
Yeah, my gosh, wow. Except for if Brianna Wu was really an angry guy.
I mean,
well,
depending on who you ask.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's if for those of you who are new to COMIXgate and may not have heard of Melissa Morgue. Melissa Morgue was a dude that got mad at COMIXgate and decided to run off, and then they started their own channel. They hired an actress to do a voice actress for their videos.
Who Edwin Boyette then discovered and had them do a promotion for diversity in comics.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wep and I found out that this was not the person that they were saying long before everybody else, and that didn't help our cause at the time at that point. But it was kind of fun because I told people this is a dude because of the cadence and the way they would type things in certain words they would use. And I don't know how you figured it out, Wep. I forgot how you figured it out, but it was like we were.
It was because one person would know things that the other okay, so the person who Morgue was I would tell things to them, and then automatically Melissa Morgue would know that thing, and it came out because of I mentioned what I had made for dinner one night offhandedly, just a completely random fucking comment in a group chat with Martin Samuel and 2 other people, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Melissa Morgue has no way of knowing what the fuck I'm having for dinner. I mean, this was like some James Bond shit. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you know that? And so that's when I realized, okay, there's some connection here, something's going on. And so I kind of just kept following that line, seeing what information led from one place to another. And then, like the next day, or not even the next day, really, a few hours after the whole what I made for dinner thing dropped, I get a Discord call from Martin Samuel with this story, like, oh, they're my niece, and story elements just kept not lining the fuck up.
Niece with quotation marks, just like that friend of yours that needs the book on bedwetting. Right.
Yeah, it's like it was just one thing after again another. Things would not line up, and the story kept getting more and more fucking complicated. And as it got more and more complicated, more and more inconsistencies started popping up, and that's how I figured out who it was and what was going on. But also the fact that when they did the creepy pink chainsaw fucking videos.
Oh yeah, that was.
I realized, okay, some of these voices sound exactly like the way they pronounce this sounds the same way that Martin would pronounce that. The way they, would present this subject the same way that Martin would present this subject. And then, fucking what was it? Then when they started dropping the videos, okay, so this was the other big thing, is one of the reasons why they said they would never go on live streams is because they had a speech impediment. But then they dropped the fucking videos and they're perfectly fucking clear.
Yeah.
Oh, I used editing. Bitch, there's no fucking amount of editing in the world that you can do to get rid of a goddamn speech impediment that well.
I was already on edge because if you remember, that was around the time that Milo Yiannopoulos brought us up. And I started telling people, guys, watch your P's and Q's about who's around, because there is going to, at this point, we're being watched by outside news sources, because if at the time, now he's Milo. Now he's not as much of an influencer, but at the time, Milo was the hot thing. And if he's going to mention you, people are going to look. And so I was full. Be careful about who's out there. And then here comes Melissa Morgue. And I don't know about you, but I kept getting private messages. Well, I think this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to be dropping this and do whatever the fuck you want. I'm going to tear it apart.
I think I started my channel after that.
Yeah, that's why we're explaining this, because I know we've got a lot of new comics skaters since that. So, yeah, there's a rich history to this that just gets ignored, by the way.
Yeah, and really the old guard like us, if we have to go old guard, new guard, the people who've been here for so damn long know all this damn stuff. We're kind of the historians of this entire fucking movement.
I remember when this happened, because that was when I was in my shit posting in the comments of every live stream phase.
But there was also the interesting element that fucking, I forgot where I was fucking going with this.
You were talking about the old guard and the.
Oh no, it was about the Morgue shit. There was something else there. I forgot what it was. I'll remember it.
Yeah, I remember. She wrote that article, which was. At first, I thought it was a joke. Like maybe Melissa. I
remember now. I remember.
Okay.
right when the Magic Gate stuff started, they tried to. I did a live stream with Jeremy from the Quartering, and they were trying to pass. They used the fact that I was talking to Jeremy about Comicsgate and what was going on with Magic as quote unquote proof that there was a link, like a causal link to Gamergate and Comicsgate.
Yeah.
And that was and that ended up getting spread around by Josh fucking Epstein of all people, the walking penis man.
How can I know who that is?
Yeah. Oh, in the comment section, I'm going to disagree with somebody here. Sword Will says, I wish Ben Shapiro does a piece on Comicsgate. I know we did a Reed Coates Black Panther because it was shit. Well, here's the thing. I got into, and I said this on Lord Nurgle's stream earlier today. I'm repeating myself. I got into some hell because I called out some Comicsgaters before. Ben Shapiro is one of the brightest minds on YouTube, in my opinion. And but the thing is he calls out bullshit on both sides. He's on a certain side for sure, but if he sees the bullshit, he's going to call out. So if there's bullshit on Comicsgate side, he'll call out the other side, definitely. But I'll guarantee you, when he comes in, he will slap the bullshit out of both sides. Yeah. So I think, personally, I think that would be fucking brilliant, and I would love to see that. But be careful what you wish for. Either that or be ready to face some harsh truths. Go ahead.
With V, the YouTuber V, and
yeah,
Sargon Avocad was on the live stream as well, and he actually said he'd be keeping a closer eye on it after everything that's been happening, because Ethan told him about Rodriguez sending him the picture of the butthole, and he was he couldn't believe that was an actual thing that happened.
Yep. Oh, Joshua Hughes is saying EVS is going to be on an interview with Andrew Clavin. Hey, he's getting close. He's at least on what is their channel?
Daily Wire.
Yeah, the Daily Wire. At least he's on it. That'd be cool.
The thing I don't understand about the whole Robbie Rodriguez thing is this has literally happened 4 times before. The only thing that makes this different is this time, well, no, that doesn't even fucking different. It's just the degree of how big the person was doing it. Remember when Michelle Perez did the same shit?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Remember when Melissa Martin Samuel did the same shit?
Yep.
It's other trolls who did the same shit.
It's just nobody cares. Still, like I said, I think it's funny that he had to take a while to pick out the perfect anuses to send. So, yeah, that's punishment. Let's see. The article goes on to say it's hard to pinpoint exactly where Comicsgate began. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me help you out there, guys. If you fucking talk to us for a second. Man, I would have to say it really began. Now, this is just me. Of course, we've been seeing it over and over again, and people just started getting tired of the identity politics. But really what started happening was when you replace classic characters with legacy characters for the sake of diversity, not for the sake of story, but for the sake of diversity. That's when it really happened, because you didn't really care about who the character was. They cared about what the character was. Were they black? Were they a woman? So the story was not first. The message, the politics became first, and they lost the voice of the character. That was the cause. And the effect I give to you, as far as YouTube is concerned, Captain Cummings. And in my case, I saw a couple of videos from Howler Mouse. So to me, my Comicsgate parents were them. My YouTube is basically the product of a gay love child, basically. Howler Mouse and Comics or Captain Cummings. And then I saw, of course, Captain Frugal, and said, you know what? I've got a message. I want to get my voice heard on this particular thing. And I did a video. At the same time, Doug Ernst was coming on. And then, of course, DNC, and the rest is history. There you go. Brief history of Comicsgate. Doug Ernst had been on his, and Captain Frugal had blogs, and they'd been fighting the good fight before they got onto YouTube. So you could say it even went back further than that. But that's a brief history. We had gone along, we made our videos, we talked about identity politics, and then Milkshake happened, which was a big cluster. Because literally, you would get called sexist just for going, where's the evidence? Can you show us the tweets? Because really, you're just saying, haha, something bad happened to me. And you're not showing us any. I didn't do a video that day because I was Twitter fighting with Ron Mars and all these people that I used to respect as far as comic book writers and comic book artists for 13 fucking hours. And now I thought, okay, wow, I'm really improving. I have no life because I'm arguing for 13 hours on Twitter. And then I realized, well, no, so are all the comic book pros. So
wasn't like a couple days after that when Rob from Comics Explain and
that was about a month or two. Were you hit on Milkshake as well, right? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about a month or so, I would have to say, maybe 2 months after Milkshake that Rob decided to speak up.
Oh, the shills?
Yeah. Yeah, well, he went, well, if you guys on the comicsgate, you got the thing with her. If you tell us why you don't believe this, but don't sound racist, ha, ha, ha. And it was like all of comicsgate said, all right, and started tossing videos onto his channel about, let me prove to you why you're the fucking racist, Rob.
And the best part is all of our evidence was on his own fucking channel.
Yeah, he actually, like a month before he questioned us, he did a video talking about the same things that we stood for.
That might be what I was thinking of. Never mind. Time is a funny thing.
Howler Mouse was the first comic creator, in my opinion, next to Steve Ditko. Oh yeah. Howler Mouse only did a few videos, but they were enough. I think they were enough to spark something. And I don't think he gets enough because he's not really a Comicsgate channel. He's more of a, hey, look at the collection I got kind of guy. But these few videos that he did, I think he really sparked something. He does not get the credit I think deserved. And maybe he doesn't want it. Yeah, he's still around. Maybe he doesn't want it. I don't know, but he was an inspiration. So there you go. Howler Mouse brought me to Captain Cummings, says Adrian Tepps, who brought him to DNC and then my channel. Thank you, sir. Hey, Webb.
Yeah.
I have to hit the head. Can you take this one? I think this is a very interesting thing. I think you know the history. I never understood the connection between milkshakes and Fabulous Flow. Was there a connection? You know about that?
Yeah, I can school people on that. Go do what you gotta do.
All right.
The thing is there originally was no connection between the Fabulous Flow hashtag and Flo Steinberg, who has a long history with Marvel Comics. We would not be seeing Marvel the way they are today if it wasn't for the contributions of Flo Steinberg. So really going over her history, we'd be here forever. So I'm not going to get into that, but right around the time Make Mine Milkshake happened, Flo Steinberg had passed away. And up until that point, Fabulous Flow had basically meant, it was a fashion hashtag. It was, oh, look at this cool thing. Like, it didn't have one particular meaning, but it was mostly used by women. So out comes, Heather Antos and Milkshake Crew with this post shortly thereafter, and it shows them, having the milkshakes, and it says Fabulous Flow, blah, blah, blah. And nobody makes the connection to Flo Steinberg because, one, the story wasn't really covered very much because it's a comic book story, It's comic book news outside of, like, Bleeding Cool, figured out. But, so it comes out, they've got the Fabulous Flow hashtag on the tweet with them all going to the milkshakes, and they get, like, 3 damn tweets. Because I was there all fucking night watching this shit unfold. And I saw maybe 3 tweets that were like, okay, I can maybe see if you are, again, have SJW sentiments. That's what would get you. But they were mostly like, Chicks are ugly. I banged the one in the front. I'd love to get head from the one in the front. Like, that's it. That's all it was. And then there were like 1 or 2 comments about like fake geek girls. That's about it. Ultimately incredibly fucking tame. But then they kind of, and I think this was a fucking cover. I think they just did this as a kind of aha gotcha moment. Where they said, oh no, instead of Fabulous Flo, this hashtag that's been around for fucking years, it was all about Flo Steinberg. I'm like, bullshit.
I like the fact that we've gone into Comicsgate history. I'm having fun talking about that. So by all means. So there you go, gang. What do you think? What do you think? You know what? I don't know if I'm going to continue with the Vulture videos. If you want, I will. I just wanted to get that bit in where we were talking about the history of Comicsgate and the Melissa Morgue whole 9 yards, me and Wep. Tell me what you think. What are your comments? Put it down in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, you know the drill. Click like, share, of course, gets word out about the channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe or notifications if you haven't done it already. Cool things happen around these parts. I really hate for you to miss anything. Also, this is the way we're trying to make a living, so if you don't mind helping the channel out, go on over to Patreon, drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on and help us keep making videos for you. Like, thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.